on The Chris Smith Show. This is All Things Automotive with Sydney City Lexus and Sydney City Toyota Managing Director John Roca.
Those comments are very much appreciated, mind you. I do appreciate them, and I will say so. But, John, welcome once again to the program.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for having me.
Again, we've got a question for you already. 131873 0460 873 873 or an email via the feedback icon on the TGB website. This seems like a long question, but this is good. I'm thinking of purchasing a new Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series, and I noticed online this week that Toyota has ceased all new sales orders indefinitely until further notice for this model Land Cruiser 300 series and also the Lexus LX, which is the similar spec to Toyota due to parts shortages and full capacity. He's got a question mark after that. Can you kindly ask John how long this ban on new orders will be in place? When will normality return? And isn't that funny? Because that's exactly what we're going to deal with today.
Yes, good timing. Look, I think an LC300 is a 2-year wait as we speak today.
2 years?
2 years. I mean, we've got a very long list. Look, I'm happy to have a conversation with him off air because I think we can take an order. It'll just be a matter of whether he needs to wait longer than that, and I can find out how much longer it will be. But it is a case where it's very difficult to say no to customers. I don't like doing that, so I think there may be a solution to that inquiry.
This is an extraordinary situation. It must be frustrating for car dealers and manufacturers all over the country. I mean, you go through lean periods, let's be honest. I mean, not everyone's, rolling in dough, selling cars these days, and although some people are, it must be said. But when you can't sell a product that simply because it's not available,
it's the worst thing. I mean, it's gone from having 25 Land Cruisers to selling 5. Now we're selling 25 and we're getting 5. So it's very difficult.
So are you telling me that wait times are not going to get any better in the short term?
No.
Wow.
No, they've actually gotten worse. And we can go through some stats that I brought with me today, and it's just incredible how it's been affected. It's actually gotten worse. Through the pandemic, we all knew, and everybody's been sort of educated. It's it takes a long time to get a car. Let me give you some stats that are quite interesting. So pre-pandemic, the average time for all manufacturers, any model, was 32 days. Halfway through the year of 2020, it turned to 34 days. So we thought 2 days longer, we can wait.
Yep.
6 months later, June 2021, 89 days was the average.
Wow.
And June 22, it's 155 days. And that's the average. So obviously there are cars you don't need to wait that long for, but there are others that are up to 5 years that I can tell you, Bill.
And it depends on what state you live in as well?
It does, yes. So it varies by state. And it looks like Western Australia's been the one that's been most heavily impacted. If you think about pandemic and COVID, they didn't shut down, whereas other states did. So their business kept going. The average wait in Western Australia is 317 days, average.
That's extraordinary.
So they've had a good economy, no shutdown, and a mining boom as well. So that is WA. If you look at other states, New South Wales, South Australia and Victoria, anything between 165 and 170 days for New South Wales. Northern Territory, 145 and 50 for Tasmania. So Tasmania is not too bad.
Why is that?
It's the amount of dealers that are there, the demand for the cars as well.
Right.
And not every brand is represented in Tasmania as well.
And is it still the shortage of chips or semiconductors?
It seems, look, they get a bad rap, the semiconductors or the chips, because, efforts that they've made, they've actually improved their production by about 18.5%. Just over the last 12 months, because they knew that was an issue. But a semiconductor goes into a toaster, it goes into a mobile phone, so it isn't just a car problem.
Someone actually joked earlier in relation to the dam issue that their dishwasher had a better AI than whoever's operating Warragamba Dam, which was an unrelated gag, but it just goes to show there's an AI in just about everything these days.
Everything.
Yeah. That was artificial intelligence for those who,
Absolutely. But we had the perfect storm. I mean, we had the pandemic where we actually closed factories while people were ordering cars at record levels. So we were selling more cars during the pandemic than prior. And then things like shortages of other components like wiring looms is a big one.
Right.
There's stories that Ford have got cars on grass in the United States because of wiring looms, but they've got semiconductors. So it's really weird. This is a strange one. We had a shipment of 8,500 cars coming to Australia from the US. All sorts of brands on a big ship. Had to be turned back because of a stink bug. So you think about that.
Oh.
So some customers are getting calls saying, well, my car was due this month. We're saying, yep, we've got the shipping date. It lands on the 23rd. And then the vessel's turned around by quarantine because they found a stink bug on the ship. That ship had to be taken back to the US, fumigated, and then brought the cars back. That delayed those cars another 60 days.
Are they literally stink bugs? Like, what do they smell like, stink bugs? Because that didn't get into the interior, did it? Because there's nothing better than a new car smell. In fact, it was once said that the best-selling cologne for men was called New Car Interior. That's an old gag, isn't it? But the... I
don't know if a stink bug stinks. I have Googled the stink bug. I know what
131873. Somebody must know. But it's a foreign insect, obviously, because you didn't want to bring it in. So that's why we don't know how it stinks.
Correct.
And I hope we never know.
But we'll Google that further. We'll do a little bit more investigation on that one, on the old stink bug.
This is such an informative program.
It is.
Oh, yes.
Have a listen to this, right? So you're a dealer, you're waiting for the cars, the stink bug ship arrives with no stink bugs.
That would be...
They land on the dock, and then we have a trucking or a strike for truck drivers.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. So you talk about perfect storms. We've had it all. But low interest rates and high demand has not helped the situation either.
Now, you're a dealer for a very, very big manufacturer, of course, one of the world's largest. Does it matter which brand you're after? Does that affect anything?
It does. It seems that the most popular brands are the ones that have been hit the heaviest. So, and then it depends. There are some niche ones in between as well. The one that's been hit the heaviest, I'll go through the top 5 that have the longest waiting list. Land Rover is 298 days. Isuzu, 289. Toyota, 235. Volkswagen, 205. And Kia, 182. So a long, long time.
That's incredible. And what are the shortest waiting lists? Who's somehow coping?
Yeah, I've got so Renault, 19 days for a Renault, if you want one. Volvo,
if you
62.
That's a little shot across the bow.
Yeah, sorry about that. They are a good car, actually. They don't make a bad car. Volvo, 62 days. That's reasonable. MG, 64. Suzuki, 79. And Great Wall Motors, 82. They're the top. They're the quickest. So the quickest one is 19 days in a Renault.
Okay, there you go. We're talking to John Roca, all things automotive. We've got some questions for you too, mate, but we'll get a breakaway first. Before we do that, don't forget, you adore the pillows. You know what? There's a Spinal Ease mattress now. It's been engineered to perfection, designed and engineered by sleep and medical scientists to put you in control. Most advanced technology for mattresses in the world. I bet that's got AI. The push of a button, it responds to your body's size, shape and weight for a heavenly sleep. Also senses your body temperature and positioning. The Dual Zone puts you in control of your side of the mattress, which is a big deal. We all know that. Sleep now, pay later with a 100-night comfort compromise. So if you want to win one of these, go to spinalease.com.au. Of course, we're giving away a pillow with our rolling quiz, which will come up in the next hour. But go to spinalease.com.au and explain why you need this Spinal Ease mattress at your home. That's spinalease.com.au. Conditions apply.
Traffic on the app or streaming on your PC. It's clear. 2GB sounds great.
The Windsor Bridge has just reopened after the flooding. Wilberforce Road has also reopened between the Windsor Bridge and Wilberforce. Windsor Road remains closed between Macquarie Street and Piptown Road. The Richmond and Yarramundi Bridge are still closed. Riverwood Lights blacked out Belmore Road and Wiggs Road. ED now getting busy in both directions into Moore Park. I'm Jason Bowman on Sydney's traffic leader, 2GB 873.
At Audica, our clinicians offer expertise, technology and value for every ear. Give your ears some love this winter. Save up to 20% off a selected range of our hearing devices and feel confident. With a 60-day money-back guarantee as well as a 4-year device warranty. If you're over 26, book your free hearing check today. Sale ends 31st August, T's and C's apply. Visit audica.com.au.
Every day, 6 white t-shirts are ruined by deliciously messy fresh pork ribs from Aldi. Your shirt could be next. Aussie pork ribs now only $15.99 a kilo. Aldi. Good. Different.
So, here's one for the books. Budget Direct have won Money Magazine's Insurer of the Year award for a record 6 years in a row. Come on, Australia. It's time you switch to Budget Direct.
Issuer Auto and General Insurance Company Limited. Read PDS and TMD at budgetdirect.com.au to decide if products suit you. Individual circumstances and policy terms may vary. Compare for yourself.
Get a quote now with Budget Direct.
There are 4 things to be careful of when you buy a mattress: comfort, support, ventilation, and what raw materials are in it. At Rocktal Mattress Factory, we are proud to show you how mattresses are made. Rocktal Mattress Factory, 56 Fairford Road, Padstow.
Dr. Theo Spirakis here. Your smile can have a huge impact on your confidence. If you're unhappy with yours, Bexley Dental can help. Come along to our next free All-on-4 seminar where I'll share important information including the benefits of All-on-4, why you should choose Bexley Dental as your implant expert, and more.
Bexley Dental, caring for families for over 25 years. To secure your booking, phone 9567 4151 or visit bexleydental.com.au.
Introducing the Kia Cars of the Year. The Kia Cars of the Year. The fully electric Kia EV6. The Wheels Car of the Year. And the Drive Car of the Year. The Kia Sportage. To pick your side in this sibling rivalry, visit kia.com.au.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Whether you're looking to entertain the kids or grandkids, or you're just a big kid yourself, get into Sydney's Luna Park, where the fun just got serious. With 9 awesome new rides, Luna Park has gone next level. You'll experience more thrills than ever before, with exciting family rides for kids of all ages, and of course your old favourites. Tickets start from just $34, so book early and save at lunaparksydney.com. There's something for everyone. Luna Park Sydney, just for fun.
The Chris Smith Show on 2GB. Time to upgrade your washer or dryer? Get a bonus Bingley gift card up to $200 on selected laundry appliances, now on at Bingley.
And before we get back to all things automotive with John Roca, how about the second of our rolling quiz questions? Which news story did this particular audio clip come from?
It was atrocious conditions. The port's been closed since Saturday, which gives an indication of the type of weather that we're facing, and we've recorded waves of over 10 metres in height.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Yes, it was an accent, but it is actually an Australian news story. Just wanted to help you out a little bit there. That's the second of our rolling quiz questions. We'll have the final one and give away the Spinalese pillow in the next hour. Now, back to dealer principal of Sydney City Lexus and Toyota, John Roca, and we have questions coming in. Richard, good morning to you.
Morning, Richard.
Good morning. I currently have on order with City Lexus since March NX350H.
Oh, yes, the most popular one.
Yep, and when we put the deposit down, we were advised it's going to be a June built date.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been delayed. We've gone past June, now we're into July, and we still have been. There's no a date on the horizon at all.
Yes, and we've experienced this with many, many models. In fact, the NX that you've ordered, the 350H, is the most popular one. We have months where we get notified the vehicles just won't be produced. And it comes down sometimes to even the mix of the models. It could be a luxury, an F-Sport or a sports luxury. And the manufacturer will just deal with what they have in the factory in terms of components to build the cars and then just notify us as the dealer saying that vehicle that was due for production June will now be missed. It will not be built in that month. I'll give you an example. We were given 82 cars to build in the month of June originally, and we were told we were receiving 27.
So I understand your predicament, but on my side, I'm buying a car from a mate who now has got the shits with him and say, oh, listen, you can't use. I've got no car now.
Yes. And I understand. And look, that's the frustrating part of all of this, is that every dealer is experiencing this, as well as obviously our customers, and that's the frustrating part for us. But if you want to leave your number offline for me, Richard, I'll chase yours up personally myself to see if I can give you some more information as well.
Good on you, Richard, and good luck with that, mate. I have a Kia Sportage and just got the insurance papers for next year, says this question. The insured value of the car has gone up $1,000. I'm amazed. Chris, it is. Thank you, Chris, for your question.
It doesn't surprise me.
This one from Smithy in Tamworth. G'day, Smithy. G'day, Tamworth. Hello, team, he says, or she says. I'm looking at a Mitsubishi ASX LS. Is there something else in that class I could look at?
Well, there are various models you can look at. Maybe Hyundai has some great models in that class as well. It would be Toyota, Nissan. The problem is what you can actually get your hands on. It's the difficult part. ASX is a great car. Pretty much every manufacturer has a compact SUV now, so there's a lot of choice, very little stock. So maybe have a look around at other options. That's a sort of a difficult one because of supply. But if you love the car, I would stick to that. I don't think Mitsubishi is going to take any longer than anybody else. I would just put the order in if that is your favourite.
Okay. Look, I think Richard's got some of the data that you gave us on wait times a little bit confused, because he says, I noticed the longest wait vehicles are mostly cars from communist China. They're on the top of the short list, if you know what I mean. They certainly weren't among the longest wait,
No.
Richard. But I can understand where you got that from, because we gave two lists out. They were sort of on the top of the short list. But he did mention Renault delivery was much shorter. Anyway, his point is, should we change our trade in terms of where we get our cars from, and particularly relating to where the manufacturing takes place, the source countries?
Yeah, it's interesting. We don't really have much choice in that. I mean, they build them at a price which is good for the consumer as well. So they've really had some really good breaks in the marketplace because of that. So I think it's really the consumer that determines that. Where they're built, I mean, we used to build cars in Australia, and for obvious reasons we don't anymore. It just comes down to a manufacturer saying, I want to build a Toyota Camry. The way it works is they pitch it to countries. The country that comes back with the cheapest Camry they can produce is the country that gets the car to build. So it comes down to economics more than anything else.
Okay. I must ask you this, because we've got this correlation with the shortage of new cars, and that is the price of used cars has gone up quite dramatically. Now, notwithstanding the new car supply issue, how does this affect trade-ins?
Yeah, so it's a used car. A new car supply issue becomes a used car supply issue, because if you're not delivering, I mean, I gave that example earlier where we were building 82 cars and we received 27. We trade about 33% of what we sell as a new car. We receive trade-ins. At the moment, that percentage is about 2.5%, because we're not getting the trade. So when we don't have a trade to sell, it pushes the price up. And what's happened out of pandemic is people have been at home to be able to sell their cars privately. So it's a bit of a double whammy. You've got the time to sell it, and you've got a great price to get for it. So it's become very easy for a private seller to sell a car.
That's
and
tricky.
for a premium.
That is tricky. So are you saying that they will get a better deal if they order a new car and then sell their existing one privately, rather than go to a dealer and try and get a deal?
The dealer at the moment is more desperate for stock, I can tell you, than ever before.
So
we are buying cars. Oh, absolutely. We're buying cars from customers that are selling their cars privately. And it'd be interesting to see. I'm actually going to check this stat, but I'm going to call car sales and find out who is buying cars from private sellers. And I'll bet you it's dealers.
I have a rusty Hulk in the backyard with no wheels.
It's worth a lot more than you think.
Apparently. No, I'm only
Bring it
kidding.
in.
That was a joking lie.
But great time to sell a car.
Right.
The average used car has in some cases doubled, and I can tell you that a 2-year-old car with less than 20,000 kilometres is probably worth new car price of what you paid for it then.
Crikey, that's stunning. I know we went through that with boats during the lockdown, because similar reasons that you were saying, car sales went up in that time. People they had some disposable income because they couldn't go on holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
Carleen says, bought a new Mazda on the 26th of May. We better rip through these, I'm sorry, we're nearly out of time. They said delivery would be 12th of July. I'm picking up on Monday the 11th. Could not have expected better service. Good on you, Carleen.
Yeah,
you got
good
lucky
stuff.
there.
Yeah, there are some very lucky ones. We've had cars that have shown up 2 months prior to the original date, which is unusual.
That is unusual. And a quick one from Ryan in Canberra. Hey, lads, I have a 2012 Ford Ranger with 180,000 Ks. Is it worth trying to sell now? Cheers.
Well, if you don't need the car, now is the time to sell it. Absolutely. Market's hot for that type of car.
And I believe there's a new model Ranger coming out pretty soon, which Trent Nikolic mentioned on the John Stanley show.
That's right.
John Roca, thank you so much for joining us, mate. You'll be back in a couple of weeks with
Thanks,
Chris.
Bill. I will be.
There he is, the dealer principal of Sydney City Lexus and Toyota. We'll be back.